Great. I can't believe you're still here. Just kidding. Of course you're here. This is great stuff. Hey, this is the last video. We're going to talk really about how we took all of that information, bundled it all up, and did that at Heavenly Greens starting in about 2011. So I'm going to go through a series of slides. I'm going to jump off here, go over to my computer, and show you exactly the case study where we put all of this into action and grew our lead flow from 7% to 75% of total lead flow in about 2 years using these strategies. All right, I'm gonna see you right over at my computer now.
Okay guys, here you go. I'm gonna jump into this case study and we're gonna talk about how putting these systems together allowed Heavenly Greens to grow their digital lead acquisition pool by 1,300%. So going, as you can see on the screen here, from 7% to 75% of total lead flow. Okay, so here we go. You guys remember this slide from a couple of videos back. All we did was implement this, and this strategy developed our core KPIs, our key performance indicators. We talked about the magic of 78. Remember the magic of 78, 78% of your user base is new every single month, the majority of the time. You can see some fluctuations there, but generally speaking, that's what you're gonna see. We talked about creating the buyer's journey, right? And using this strategy with the magic of 78. We talked about this system, setting this up. Now, this is really what you're setting up. You're setting up an email, a search engine marketing machine, and occasionally your social media syndication strategy. You're also going to set up a website that is focused on conversions of interested parties, not necessarily buyers, right? Because we're building a pipeline of interested folks. And then your email follow-up systems are going to help you establish that connection, build a relationship, prove value, and more importantly, close sales. This is what your competition is doing. Your competition is dropping marketing dollars into the top of the funnel, and it's a pachinko machine, and the leads are just bouncing all over the place because there's no clear direction. There's no clear strategy. We're giving you one of those. Remember, we talked about top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel. I think I talked about that at the very beginning, but anyway, this is the strategy, right? Because we're bringing people in at this stage and meeting them at their need level. Like ready for an appointment would be bottom of the funnel. Middle of the funnel is still digging around your free guides. Top of the funnel, boom, welcome to our website. Here's how we're going to show you value. This is what we did. We bolted on HubSpot. HubSpot is that content optimization tool. You don't necessarily need HubSpot because with the artificial grass selling machine, you're going to be given a system that can duplicate this without the expense and also developing a way to put it together relatively inexpensively. So here are the 4 stages that we're going to talk about. Stage 1, we bolted it on in 2011. Stage 2 and stage 3 is last year. And then finally, phase 4 is 2015. What you're seeing here is a screenshot of inside HubSpot. Green is organic traffic, yellow is email marketing, orange is a newsletter blast, and red is paid traffic, and blue is direct traffic, so people typing in heavenlygreens.com. As you can see, things got a little crazier around this time frame. That's when the Panda updates started happening and Google changed their algorithms. If you don't know what any of that is, don't sweat it. It's just why it looks so interesting. And then, of course, we talked about the system itself, how you're there in front of the research phase, you're giving stuff away, you're establishing buying criteria, so you're lead nurturing all the way through to where they're ready to establish a vendor of choice. They're going to start setting appointments, and of course, through your system, you're taking advantage of the magic of 78, and you're creating value along the way. Nowhere in particular. This is the old methodology for websites. The new methodology for websites is targeted landing pages with clear calls to action, right? The days of just go to my homepage are kind of over. It's all about making sure you're giving the user what they're after, relevant content. Okay, so we started our inbound marketing strategy with just 2 free guides. We used the 8 facts and the ultimate Q&A, or what we call in couple of the PDFs, we've changed the name here, but basically it's 22 questions and answers. We had a decent landing page, good call to action. Here's the stuff. If you wanted more information, boom, download the guide. And if you were ready for an appointment, you told us. We positioned these CTAs, calls to action, on they were very prominently featured throughout our site. And what we started to see immediately was a pretty high adoption rate, 8 facts and 22 questions. We were seeing a lift from 10% all the way across through the bell curve of our year, and 22 questions was seeing an equally big lift. And we did the entire year of 2012, and we're getting 15 and 17% conversion rates into our systems. So we discovered quickly, if we could go create more information relevant to our market, more people would take our guides. So that's what we did. We created a whole bunch more. And then when we created them, we started to blog about it, right? So we started to really talk about all this other stuff, different nuances associated with it, and we got it into the market. And what ended up happening was we started seeing a massive adoption rate of this new content that we were bringing in, right? So these guides, there's a variety of them here, right? Pet Owner's Case Study, Designing with Artificial Turf, Top 10 Benefits of Artificial Turf, Top 5 Top 5 Myths, The Hidden Costs of Natural Grass, Teen Up with Heavenly Greens, that's a golf case study, Product Comparison Sheet, Playgrounds, Pet Facilities, Green Patios, and Green Roofs and Patios. And you might say, what the heck, green roofs and patios? Well, we are in California. Anyway, all of these guides, we now have about 24 of them. And this system, you're going to get 5 of them. You're going to get the 22 questions and answers. You're going to get the 8 facts. You're going to get the Pet Owner's Case Study. You're going to get the top 10 benefits of artificial turf. And then what's the other one you're getting? I think it's a pet case study. So that'll be great for you guys to get that into your markets. And then going back here, and you can see that the Pet Owner's Case Study was getting an astonishing 67% conversion rate. That's getting into the system, right? And then what we started to do is we started to segment our audience through a buyer persona. So in this case, we focused our content and our lead nurturing content, so our email, we created specifically into these particular categories, right? So landscape, pets, golf, playgrounds, and commercial. Playgrounds didn't get a huge lift for us. We still have interest, but nothing like the other categories do. All right, and these are drip campaigns, 10 different follow-up emails. We've come to learn that that's too many. We started to see fall off in, we started to see opt-out rates increase, and we started to see spam ratings increase. So we've actually, I think we pulled the 8 fax emails to, I think there's only 5 in there. But you can see there's pretty decent conversion rates here. Open rates are good. Click path right back to other landing pages. This is 2014 newsletter opens, 16%, 26%, 22%. Of course, we had click rates inside the newsletter as well. And then this year, we've entered into a new category, homeowners associations and property managers, 33.9% open rate. 0 clicks because that was our first one, and all we really did was want to present information about their industry that we could help them with, right? So again, we're talking about, the new governor signed his law into effect. Just other relevant things, like out here in Foster City, there's an insane commercial rebate, a commercial application rebate, where I believe you can get up to $100,000 rebated back to you. Now you got to spend a bunch of money on turf to do that, but that's interesting news, relevant to our audience, right? So again, peak season kind of a newsletter here, but 19%, 16%, pretty good stuff. And then, just looking at deliverability, 98%, and open rates are really, really high when you build in value with your emails. And then on aggregate now, this is looking at our entire system across the board, and to where it is today is we're producing on aggregate 6.19% of our entire visitors become contacts or get into our systems. So out of 100 people, six leads. So here's what we did in 2011. We were just kind of hand tallying this stuff. because we didn't have a CRM in place where we could take data. So it was, oh, hey, how'd you hear about us? Oh, I found it on the internet. Oh, hey, how'd you hear about us? Oh, I saw you at a home show. Not the way to manage your data, by the way. We rolled into a new CRM in 2012 and started breaking things apart. All right, so this is September 2012. It took a while for us to get those guides in place, and that's why you're seeing such a break in the year. Email marketing, you can see right here, is 7% of digital strategies right now. Internet was giving us 26%, but we didn't put those guides in place yet. So 26% is kind of a just our overall traffic number that produced leads. But 7% we started tracking, and then we started adding more guides. You can see 7% to 11% to 24%, and now the aggregate numbers are really starting to change. Email marketing plus internet is 47% of total lead flow. Going to the next year, 2013. Last 2012, we started at 7%. This year we started at 13%. Aggregate numbers 35%, 53%, 46%, 47%. Then we go straight to the free guides for that should actually. No, that's right, 47% of 2013, and then 2014, 57% of total lead flow. And then to where it is today is actually 50% on email marketing with free guides, adding lead nurturing campaigns into our methodology. And then that combined with internet lead flow is a total of 73%. It's actually 75% today. I just don't have the right pie chart on here. So 5 big picture ideas to take away here. Number 1, make sure that if you want to really drive traffic specific to your target market, drive it with pay-per-click advertising. Remember, 78% rule is going to help you immensely if you've got content to give away for free. Be strategic about your content. Be the thought leader in your market. I guarantee you, maybe 1 or 2 competitors in your market, if it's a larger market, might be giving away something, but nothing like you're going to be able to offer. Become a flexible marketing machine. Outsource this stuff. If you can't do it in-house, don't stress over it. I know I did at the beginning, and now I have an outsourced staff that I do. I've got about 12 to 14 different people that I can pull from at any time, and I'm not paying overhead for them. They're just outsourced by project. Marketing automation. Get involved in marketing automation, invest up front. You're going to earn big later because you can't manage that content on your own. You need the automation. And then, outsource. Figure out a way to outsource your stuff. You don't need to own all of this, especially if you're an owner-operator. You're busy running your business. If you've got somebody running your marketing department, they can totally leverage outsourcing as well, and we can help you with that as well. And then finally, this is your new business card, and you should think about it that way because that's the way things are headed these days. Finally, think about that big switch. A couple of videos ago, I talked about how shouting about your brand isn't really working anymore. And then make sure you're paying attention to the change in the market, the way people are acquiring information about who they're going to do business with. Because if you don't like change, you're going to like irrelevancy even less. And then this is just some stats about blogging. Companies that blog get 55% more web visitors. Inbound marketing is actually less expensive than spending money in traditional outbound categories. I would consider pay-per-click strategies an outbound strategy, but it's a direct measurable ROI. And then finally, give away stuff that people want, and you will find that you will be amazed with how much people want your stuff when you start giving away good quality content. All right, and this is the conversion rates currently happening with our site. They're kind of all over the map based on what type of actual guide we're giving away, but you can see very healthy conversion rates. And then just as we get a little bit closer to the end of this video, there's 5 components you're going to need to have, right? You're going to need to have a content management system. That's a blog or a website that you can manage content with pretty consistently. You build out your relevant content, and you're able to build out your organic reach as well. You're going to improve your search rankings as well. Component number 2, you need to have a good, solid lead capture and lead nurturing system behind your website. Produce content that people want. Heck, if you want to go create something on your own, 5 questions to ask every contractor. It's a great one. 8 facts you should know about artificial turf. Good stuff. Component number 3, make sure that you're focused on optimizing your content, SEO optimized content and syndication tools. That's a way for you to literally, if you're using WordPress site, for instance, you can get a plugin, put the plugin into your site, and if you don't know how to do any of that, don't worry about it. Very easy to do, and someone can help you with it. We can help you with that as well. But with the push of a button, you publish your blog, and it auto syndicates across your social sites. So you're syndicating with one push of a button. And then finally, you want to make sure that you're living in the analytics as much as you possibly can. Google Analytics is a great tool, and there are ways to set it up so it's really easy to pay attention and really easy to see results. And you can then start to take an analytical approach to your content and your conversion rates. And then finally, you want to have a CRM. You want to be able to manage the the contacts that come into your system. So that's through an email autoresponder. There's also some other technology that I'm partnering with that I'm going to be introducing as we lead up to this event here in November. And these are all the things that you need to have. And I'm going to go over on this next page some of the other things that we can give you as part of this system. I think this next slide is just really focusing on the things that we can help the dealers with, provide you with content that you need, provide you with the mobile WordPress site if you don't have one, a mobile-friendly WordPress site, provide you the right follow-up material, how to actually follow up with these folks, provide you with the right technology to get it done, so maybe an email autoresponder technology that we can help you with, landing page technology and a capture tool, and then give you some insight on how to blog once or twice a month, or give you resources to where you can outsource that need and have it done for you. And then at the end of the day, it's really about getting all this done for you. One of the biggest challenges you have is, all this stuff's great, but if you have no way to get it up and running, and it's all on you, it's just going to be another item on your desk because we're all so busy these days. So we have a way to actually do all of this stuff for you. On the next video, on the next page rather, if you look down below this video, there's a button that is going to take you to the next page. And that next page is where we're going to go over all of the done-for-you systems, pricing, everything else that is involved with the artificial turf selling machine. And I'm excited to show it to you because I know there's a couple of dealers that have already adopted this, and I'm excited to get them up and running, and we're excited to get this system in your hands as well. All right, well, thanks a lot, and I'm going to see you on the next page.